Hi everyone, in this video I will be showing you how to crochet these granny squares that are full of dimension and texture. So as you can see with these colors, I'm going for a more Christmas theme. I'm using this cranberry red, this dark green, and an ivory with some gold woven through it. I will have specifics down below, but this is a worsted weight yarn and we are using a 6mm crochet hook, and you will also need some scissors and a tapestry needle. So I did do 4 different color combinations with these 3 colors because I will be joining these squares to make a blanket. But of course you can do as you wish with the granny squares that you will make and use whatever color combinations you would like. I do have on my blog post listed just the color order of these squares, and I will be calculating yarn amounts and blanket sizes once I finish this blanket of my own. To begin, I will be using my first color and I will be starting with a magic ring and chaining 3. And this whole first round is going to be crocheted into the ring. After my chain 3, I'm going to make 2 double crochets. And this is going to be the first side of my square. Chain 2. And I will make 3 double crochets into the ring. And there's my second side. This beginning chain 3 is going to count as a stitch. So there I have 2 sides of my square. I'm going to chain 2, make 3 more double crochets in the ring, there I have 3 sides. I'm going to chain 2 and 3 more double crochets into the ring. And now I'm going to close this tail tight, chain 2, and join to the top of this beginning chain 3. So there's 1, 2, 3 chains. I'm going to join right up here. And then before I change to my next color, I want to get to this corner. So I'm going to slip stitch into these next 2 stitches. And then I'm going to slip stitch into that chain 2 space as well, just because I want to start my next round in the corner. Now we're going to change colors. You can use whatever color changing method you prefer, but I'm just going to clip this working yarn here and leave a little bit of space. Grab my next color. I'm going to loop it through. I'm going to pull the ivory color tight. And then with these 2 tails here, I'm just going to tie it once. Just like that. And start my new color. So for round 2, we are starting in the corner. And in our corner, we want 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. To begin, we are going to chain 3 to count as 1 of the double crochets, and then make another double crochet. So that counts as 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets into that chain 2 space, and that makes our first corner. So there we have our corner. And now we are going to start making that texture and dimension by using front post and back post double crochets. So we're going to yarn over and we are going to make a front post double crochet in this first stitch. So we already yarned over. We're going to insert our hook behind the post of the stitch and bring it to the front of our hook. So now it is in front of our hook, just the post of that double crochet. As you can see, it's in front of our hook, and we are going to make a double crochet as normal. Here you don't want your tension too tight. I do like to pull it up a little bit. And then complete our double crochet as normal. And then the next stitch right here is going to be a back post double crochet. So we're going to yarn over and we're going to insert our hook so it goes in front of that post. So now that double crochet post is behind our hook, just like that. It does take a little time to get used to if you've never done these stitches before. And again, we are just going to double crochet as normal. And I do like to keep a little bit of a looser tension, pull it up just a little bit so it's not so scrunched. Just like that. And we're going to finish our double crochet. And now this last stitch here on this side, we are going to make a front post double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook so the post goes in front of your hook, and complete your double crochet as normal. So that's what we are doing on each side of the square. We're alternating front and back post double crochets. Here we are at our chain 2 corner, and we are going to make 2 double crochets, a chain 2, and 2 more double crochets to complete our corner. So here we have a corner, a side, and another corner. Here we are on our next side. I'll show you one more time the front and back post double crochets before I will let you go ahead and finish the rest of the square. So again, yarn over, insert your hook so that stitch is in front of your hook, and complete the double crochet as normal. So that was a front post double crochet and then a back post double crochet. And then a front post double crochet. And here we are at our corner, which is 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. So we are just going to repeat that for the last 2 edges. Front post double crochet, back post double crochet, front post double crochet, our corner, which is 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets, and finish off the last side with a front post, back post, and front post double crochet. And I will meet you back here after we finish round 2. So here we are at the beginning. I just finished my last edge, and to join, we're going to join at the top of this chain 3. So there's 1 chain, 2 chains, 3 chains. We're going to join at the top here. And before we change colors, I want to start the next round in that corner again. So slip stitch into the next stitch and slip stitch into that chain 2 space before changing colors. For round 3, we are doing basically the same thing. We just have more stitches to work into on each side. So we're going to start with our corner, and for the very first corner we always want to start with chain 3 to make our first stitch, a double crochet, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets into that chain 2 space. So there's our first corner. And just like the first side in the last row, we are going to start with a front post double crochet and then alternate with the back post double crochets. So yarn over, make our front post double crochet in that first stitch, and the next a back post, and the next a front post. And since this is a front post, in the last round it does bump forward a little bit, so it makes it a little easier to work around. And then back post, front post, back post, double crochet. When I say back post and front post, I am referring to the front post double crochets and the back post double crochets. And then you will end with a front post double crochet. And that's going to hold true for each side that you do. You will start with a front post double crochet and keep alternating with the back double crochets, and you will always end with a front post double crochet. And now we're here at our chain 2 space corner, and we are going to make 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets to complete that corner. And now you just want to continue all the way around with your sides and your corners, and then I will meet you back here for round 4, which is the last round. Here we are at the end of round 3, and we're just going to join to the top of that chain 3 and slip stitch over to that corner. So slip stitch into the next stitch and then into the corner. And then change to our last color, which mine is going to be red. And this last row is going to be different. So instead of using the back post and front post double crochets, we are just doing regular double crochets for this last round. These front and back post stitches are very stretchy, which does create this amazing texture and squishiness, but I found that continuing to do the front post and double crochets for the last row just made it too scrunched up. And since I am making a blanket with this, or really if you're making anything with this, you want the squares to be as uniform as possible. You don't want them scrunching in. So I am ending the last round with just double crochets to give it a little more structure. So we're going to start with chain 3 and then a double crochet in that chain 2 space, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. So there's our corner, and then like I said, we are just doing regular double crochets. So starting in this space here, this is the very first stitch. Sometimes it is hidden when you work into this chain 2 space, so just make sure to find that very first stitch so you don't miss any. And we are just double crocheting into these stitches as normal. And we're going to do that all the way across. And then our corners are going to be the same. We're doing 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. And I will leave you there to complete the rest of the square, and I will meet you back when we get to the end. Once we get to the beginning, we are just going to slip stitch into that beginning chain 3 and chain 1 to fasten off. And then you're done. You just need to weave in your ends, and then also make sure for the magic ring that you pull it tight, and you actually want to make a knot so the center doesn't come loose. So I'll show you what I do to make it secure. I just take a tapestry needle and I will thread the tail, and then I will make a little knot around one of the stitches that is close. I just make a little mini French knot, or you could just do, you know, however you make a knot around one of the stitches close by, so there is a knot. The center won't come loose, because it has happened to me before when you're using magic rings. So make sure you always knot your magic rings. Then just weave it in a little bit. And then of course, depending on how you change your colors, you can just clip or weave in however you prefer to make those ends secure, and then you are done. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you learned something new today. And if you enjoy crochet tutorials, be sure to subscribe to my channel.